Watchmakers love to pay homage to their history, but not all retro revivals are made equal. The Panerai Luminor Marina Militare PAM 05218, however, is a reissue done right. A largely faithful recreation of a military-exclusive model that was released in the same year that Panerai first became available to civilians. Yes, some things are just worth the wait. But let's step back in time. Panerai was founded in 1860 as a watch shop and watchmaking school. From the 1910s, Panerai started to supply the Italian Navy with precision instruments, and from 1935, dive watches. In 1949, Panerai patented the Luminor name, and 1956 saw the introduction of the GPF 2/56, later popularly known as the Egiziano, which debuted Panerai's now unmistakable crown-protecting device. This whole time, Panerai's dive watches were exclusively reserved for military use, unavailable to the public. That all changed in 1993 though. The year before, a landmark article on the company was published in a popular Japanese watch magazine, which inspired Panerai to offer watches to the civilian market. Panerai launched their civilian offerings with two watches, a Mare Nostrum chronograph and a Luminor. But it's not that Luminor that this new reference, the PAM 05218, has actually revived. It's actually a revival of a third watch released in 1993, the 5218-202/A, which was indeed offered exclusively to Italian Navy personnel. Anyway, this so-called pre-Vendôme Marina Militare has become something of a cult classic in the Panerai pantheon. It's the kind of watch that hardcore Paneristi really love, but only around 140 were ever made, so it's very cool to see Panerai give this coveted model a wider re-release. Now, I say that this PAM 05218 is a faithful recreation, but it does have some key differences to the original. Aesthetically, it closely resembles it, but Panerai have brought some modern upgrades to the table. The original had a 44mm black PVD-treated stainless steel case. This reissue keeps the same dimensions, but is DLC treated instead, so you still get that blacked out look, but with a tougher surface treatment. Similarly, the PAM 05218 style is a dead ringer for the pre-Vendôme Marina Militares. It's got the same font usage for the text, and unlike most Panerais, it doesn't have a sandwich dial, but rather a monolayer hollowed dial, which is true to the original. But where the original used tritium lume, this modern recreation uses superluminova. Another upgrade it brings to the table comes on the movement front. The original used an ETA 6497, which was and remains one of the most popular hand-wound mechanical movements in the watch industry. But it only has a 46-hour power reserve. Instead, this new PAM 05218 uses the Panerai caliber P6000, which is also manual winding, but has a much beefier 72-hour power reserve. The water resistance rating remains the same at 300 meters, with the movement protected by the iconic Panerai crown guard and a screw-down case back that resembles the one found on the original. A particularly nice detail is the lume choice for the hands and numerals on this reissue. Some examples of the original 5218-202/A had a manufacturing defect, where the varnish used on the numerals made them develop an orangey brown colour, while the hands remained green. This was corrected in later batches, meaning that only a few had this non-matching lume, but the non-matching watches have now become highly collectible. Panerai has recreated that lume difference with this modern model. I had the chance to try it on when I visited the Panerai Laboratorio di Idee in Switzerland with Andrew and Russell ahead of Watches and Wonders this year, and this is what really stood out to me when I put it on my wrist. Firstly, it didn't have a sandwich dial, which is surprisingly striking, but secondly, that Panerai has gone as far as to recreate this vintage manufacturing error, which now has become so prized. Another commitment to period correctness is its strap, which has an oversized black steel DLC trapezoidal buckle, which is sewn into the extra thick golden brown calf leather. It's all these little details that really make the PAM 05218 feel like an Italian military watch from a bygone era. But what's your take? Do you like this reinterpretation of this formative Panerai? Let me know in the comments. The Panerai Luminor Marina Militare PAM 05218 is available now from Panerai boutiques and is priced at $9,200 US. You'll find a complete list of specs in the description of this video, and whilst you're there, if you haven't already, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Until next time, don't be a stranger.